Hi, welcome. So I have like a nice warm glow. I'm not going to talk too loud, but I am going to talk a little bit louder than usual because I want you to use this video as you wake up throughout the day. You know, that's why it's not really a sleep video. This is just going to be like, I'm going to try to do like a guided meditation, but I'm still not that great at them, so I get kind of distracted. But I'm gonna do my best, and just something to help start your day, get you going, put you in a good mood if you feel like you woke up and you're just like, I don't want to do today. But yeah, hopefully this helps you. I appreciate all of the love and support from everybody, and thank you very much for just being you and for just letting me be me, and for accepting me for who I am and who I choose to be and who I'm becoming and who I decide to turn into later down the road. I am very blessed and thankful for everyone that trusts me with their energy, that just enjoys my content as well. Like, you don't have to believe in what I do, but you know, it is a bonus. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you really quick before I begin the video. I'm gonna pull out Big Mama actually for this one, because I feel like she is gonna be a really great thing to do to help us kind of reset that negativity that maybe we woke up with, or maybe that we've caught throughout the day if it's later in the day and you're watching this. So I'm gonna use her to just cut some cords, maybe do a couple extractions, whatever else pops up into my head as I do this. I do have my little energy room generator, or room energy generator, something like that. I get it mixed up, but basically this is just a little something that you kind of put in your workspace. You could put it in the room with you. If you work in an office, you could put it at your desk, and it's just kind of supposed to help balance out the energies around you. So I'm going to include that in our session. I'm just going to put it right here on my little desk as I work. So before I begin, I'm actually going to have you kind of, if you can, close your eyes, take a quick second to pause. If you can't close your eyes, if you're working and you're listening to this, it's fine. Continue working and just kind of take a nice deep breath and just relax your body. Release all that tension that you feel in your throat and your shoulders and your back. Just kind of wiggle around, you know, give yourself a nice little stretch and get in a comfortable position. If you need to continue working, that's fine, just as long as you feel a little bit more relaxed and at ease and less, I don't know, I guess less stiff is more the goal. What I like to do is stretch, so if you can stretch, go ahead and stretch with me. Arms out to the side, wrists up, wrists down, arms down, and if you can, bring them right up here. Kind of like prayer pose, I guess, is really what you want to call it. Continue taking those nice deep breaths that you've been taking. Focus on your breathing, but don't focus too much that you alter your natural breathing rhythm, okay? Just kind of pay attention, like, okay, let me pay attention to how I breathe. You know, don't focus too much on forcing yourself into a rhythm. Just focus on how you naturally breathe. Take at least 3 more big deep breaths for me, okay? So inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And now just continue with your natural breathing rhythm. As I am going to start using Big Mama to do these extractions, to remove these cords, I want you to right now, I know it's going to sound funny, but trust me, if I have your permission, of course, allow me to have that permission now. But I want you to focus on all of these things bothering you, all these feelings, the emotions, the thoughts, physical pains. Focus on those spots as I do this, okay? As I'm plucking out things and cutting the cord from that. I want you to really push all those feelings, that energy, those thoughts, that pain, push them to the surface so that I'm able to pluck them easily and remove them from you, okay? And as I'm doing this, I want you to also envision that, okay? Envision it being slowly pulled out and just releasing itself from you. If you feel like maybe, because sometimes I don't get it completely, so just continue to push whatever you feel was left over. Continue to push that energy away from you. Push those emotions out of you. Not necessarily down and hide them, but we want to push them out, away from us. If you start to get emotional, if you start to feel queasy, if you start to get pain, if you start to feel anything in your body, it's completely normal, so don't be alarmed. But it's kind of just a process. We all sense, feel, go through things, release things differently. So what you feel is not going to be the same as somebody else, but you're all releasing. And that's what matters the most, is that we're all releasing all this negativity, okay? Okay. So, if you just woke up in a bad mood, if you are already at work having a bad day, if you're just going through your daily motions in your day and you feel like just, ugh, I want you to take all those feelings, all that negativity, all those emotions, and start pushing them out towards me. Not to me, just towards me, so that I can go ahead and start removing them with Big Mama, okay? And just continue breathing as you do that. There we go. Yes, it's like cutting grass. I know that probably doesn't sound very like, oh yes, cut the grass, release, but I feel like it's just more of that, like just trimming and cleaning up, and almost like when they do like those bush artworks and stuff, you know how they just like and try to make it look perfect, like a shape or an animal or a figure, like Edward Scissorhands does, you know. That's kind of how I feel sometimes when I'm doing this, because it's just like, okay, what am I actually trying to achieve? Am I trying to get a shape? Am I trying to just release these things and just not care about the shape? But you know, it kind of just depends on how we're feeling, how we're doing things. But I need you to know that as long as you're trying your best, that's all that matters. We all have off days. Don't be so hard on yourself. Be kind to yourself today, okay? I know it can be hard and tough sometimes to be kind to ourselves. Sadly, that is something that a lot of people struggle with. I know I struggle with it sometimes. We're all human. But I want you to be kind to yourself today, okay? If somebody ticks you off, if somebody just tries to push your buttons, send them love, send them kindness, because you don't want to continue to repeat the cycle or stoop down to their levels. Push through this day, knowing that you're releasing this negativity, knowing that you are willing to do that, willing to take advantage of these opportunities of usually throwing back negativity, and swap that around to throwing out love and positivity into the world. You know, I think a good example for me one time was, where was I? I was at a Starbucks. I was in the drive-thru, and I believe there was like 4 cars in front of me before I could even order. And because one car had scooted up, the car behind me decides to honk because I didn't scoot up, even though if I scooted up I was not going to be able to order. At first, my first instinct was to be rude and flip him off and do all this other crazy stuff. Get out of my car, yo, because he was an old man. I could have took him. That's what I told myself. But instead, I paid for his drink. So as much as I didn't want to pay for his drink, I said, you know what, maybe he's having a bad day, maybe he's in a rush, maybe this is going to be his only moment of peace, is getting this coffee. So what did I do? I paid for his coffee, as much as I don't want to pay for his coffee. But you know, sometimes things like that, I would rather just make it a story that I prefer. You know, he's having a bad day himself, you know, he's in a hurry, he needs this coffee, because I know my mom's addicted to coffee and she cannot live without her coffee. So maybe that's all it was, he just needed his cup of coffee. And if he was a douchebag and I paid for his coffee, oh well, whatever. Good deed for me, good karma for me. We can't always be so negative and so like boohoo poor me. We have to be grateful for what we do have and not always complain about what we don't have. I used to do that a lot, actually. I always blamed others for why I didn't succeed. I always blamed or had excuses and was mean, and I'm still kind of mean sometimes, but you know, I try my best to be more friendly. But hopefully I'm not talking too much either. I do apologize. I promise I will get through this little story time and then I'll be a little bit more peaceful. But yeah, you know, as I started to try to switch things and send out love instead of hate, or positivity instead of negativity, or feeding into the negativity around me or that was thrown to me, even if it was for no reason. In the beginning it was really hard because I would respond with positivity and still all this negativity would attack me. I'd be like, what the heck? I'm doing my best. I'm sending out positive energy. I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to be friendlier. What am I doing wrong? But I just continued to do all that, and after a while I stopped. You know, it didn't really come to my mind like, oh, I was positive and I didn't get anything positive back. Like after a while it just kind of was like muscle memory, I guess. Like I was just being positive just because that's what I was used to. And when I hit that state of mind is when all the blessings came in. It's kind of crazy because if you focus too much on like, oh, I'm such a good person, oh, I do all this, I do all that, and I get nothing in return, that's kind of like doing something nice and expecting something. Universe does not always reward that. So, you know, after a while you get out of that mind state and you stop being the boohoo poor me person, and then all of a sudden you're lucky. Your manifestations are strong. Things start to change slowly, but then fast. You know, once they slowly start, within just like that, it could change, you know, to super quick. But yeah, that was just a quick little story time. Sorry, that might have been a little bit too long, but just kind of wanted to share some of my own experiences with you all, because I feel like sometimes when I talk about these things, it makes me realize things as well. You know, it actually helps me as well too. I'm so sorry. People are so annoying. Good morning. It's not even morning. At least not for me. Hopefully it is for you. I don't know when you watch this, but I don't even remember what I was saying. But we're gonna continue to do these extractions because I just feel all this weight on my back, and I'm trying to remove that from you. I'm just gonna come around here, okay? Big Mama never actually touches you, like physically touches you. It's just kind of hovering over and removing as I go, okay? Just want to make sure you know that you're safe with me. But yeah, hopefully that little long story time that I have, maybe it encourages somebody to try to be more positive and to not get discouraged, because the universe does test us a lot when we start trying to go down these new spiritual journeys or these new spiritual paths and stuff. I feel like the universe tested me a lot. Like, are you sure this is what you really want? Like, okay, let's throw something even worse at you to make sure that this is really what you want. This is really how you want to act, that it's not just a phase, that it's a habit you're willing to break. Because I had to break a lot of habits, believe it or not. I still have a long ways to go, especially with my self-love. You know, I have my days, especially when I get into my depressive episodes. I don't know what else to call them. I start getting really bad panic attacks, anxiety. Nothing really helps. I never want to do anything. I have no motivation. It's kind of sucks when I get into those little moods, but you know, we're all human. We're not perfect. We're not meant to be perfect. And I feel like that was something that I really had to accept, you know, that I wasn't perfect. No matter how hard I tried to come off as perfect, I was just making it worse for myself. I just needed to be happy with who I was and learn how to deal with my depressive episodes and find ways that worked for me, and stopped looking for people to fix me, because I did that for a really long time. A lot of relationships, pretty much all my relationships, were me trying to fix myself through somebody else. You know, thinking that taking care of somebody or loving somebody or catering to this person would help me feel better, help me get normal, help me be more stable. But it didn't. It makes me worse. So, I mean, you know, those are all lessons and stuff, and it's things that I'm slowly starting to realize and come to terms with, and especially with all that shadow work I did. You know, shadow work is really hard to do, and if you ever, you know, are interested in doing that, you always feel free to ask. There's always workbooks that you could do online. It's really just, you know, diving deep into who you truly are, you know, not who you present to the world, you know, all the negative, nasty, dirty, horrendous thoughts that you have. That's a part of you, and it's more of like embracing your dark side in a way. Not being afraid of showing that dark side, not being embarrassed, you know, to tell people who you really are and show them who you really are, which this channel has actually helped me do a lot, as well as my TikTok channel. You know, not necessarily saying that that's the only way that you could do these things. That's just something that worked for me and helped me along the way. Helped me express myself. Lets me be myself, and After a while I stopped caring what other people thought, stopped caring about getting negative comments, because before, negative comments used to scare the living daylights out of me. I don't mind constructive criticism. It's the criticism that I don't like. If something, I think it's more the thing of like when people complain about something that only they feel, you know, or that only a group of them feel, like it's a personal preference, you know. When people tell me, I don't like it when you click, stop clicking, and it's like, well, there's a couple 100,000 people out there in the world that like clicking, so I'm not gonna stop clicking. But what I can do is do videos that don't have clicking, you know. It's like a compromise in a way. So I prefer it for somebody to say, can you start posting more non-clicking videos? You haven't posted one in a while. Versus I hate clicking, it makes me feel this, and I don't like it, and it's weird, and it makes me uncomfortable, and like just these personal feelings about it, you know. I think it's more that, like, just constructive criticism doesn't have personal feelings involved in it. So that's why I feel like a lot of people get upset, is because you're not being constructive. You're taking your personal opinion and giving that to somebody who wasn't really asking for one specific person's opinion, you know. I do my best to make videos for everybody, but after a while you just have to realize you can't please everybody. You can only please so many people. So that's kind of why I just do different videos randomly, whatever comes to me, whatever feels comfortable for that day. You know, if a group of people didn't like it, then, you know, hopefully the next video they will like. Just kind of have to think that way, and I'm a huge perfectionist, so that was really hard for me to do, but I did it. But yeah, so you are pretty much nice and clear, actually. I think all my talking distracted you and allowed all that negativity to kind of release on its own, is what I felt, because I just felt it like oozing out. Sometimes that happens when we focus on something else, which is, you know, I guess it's a good thing that I was just sitting here talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. I just had a lot to get out, so I appreciate you all for being my ears. Sorry if I talk too much, you know. I'll try to do another video where I don't talk as much, but I really do greatly appreciate you, your time, any love and support that you send to me, my content here and also on TikTok. I really do greatly appreciate everything from the bottom of my heart. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it helps with your day, and I hope that, you know, it helps give you some advice on how to approach things differently, and maybe start redirecting your actions than what you normally do, and breaking some habits that we really need to let go of. Because I know it took me many years, you know. Nobody's perfect, and I don't expect any of you to be perfect, and I know I can be stubborn, so if you're stubborn as well, it's completely fine. You know, it took me, I'm about to be 29 in a couple days, so it took me a really long time to get to where I am at. So don't feel like you don't have enough time, or like it's too late, because it's never too late, it's never too early. Whenever you decide to go through these things, it's the right time for you. We all have different paths, we all start at different paces, we all go and run at different paces. You know, you don't have to go as fast as the next person, you don't have to go as slow as that person. You have to go at your own speed, what's comfortable for you, and just remember that it's about you and what you're comfortable with, what you want to achieve. Be as selfish as you see necessary, because it is your journey. And I feel like that's kind of what attracted me to the spiritual, I guess to just spirituality in general, because it's very personal and it's very unique. There's no right or wrong way. to do things. So I really like that, because I don't like being told that I have to do it this way or it doesn't work. There are certain things that are no's and yeses, but you learn those along the way. You know, making mistakes is not a bad thing in the spiritual community, but as long as you're willing to learn from those mistakes. So yeah, sorry for babbling so much. Thank you for listening to me, and hopefully this helps you go along through your day a little better, and hopefully that helped clear out your mind, your thoughts, and had you focused on me and my bullshit. But from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. But namaste.